Welcome to the first installment of the Ziggens podcast. I'm your host, Ben Ziggen, and today we're going to look at their first album, Wake Up and Smell the Ziggens. Our first track is called I Got Me a Girlfriend, and it's been notably covered by Bert Susanka's children's group, Jelly of the Month Club, on their first album. And I Got Me a Girlfriend has a midsection that's kind of based on the song Joe Stalin's Cadillac by the band Camper Van Beethoven. And it repeats names of mostly dictators and gives them Cadillacs. Um, I Got Me a Girlfriend. When it was put on Jelly of the Month Club, I remember some parents were complaining that girlfriends were not appropriate subject matter for a children's record, but I don't know about that. That was pretty silly. And it it did get to the number one spot on the Dr. Demento show the year it was released. I remember that. So then we have Really Bad Sunburn, which details different people who've had sunburns and other injuries and bad things happen to them in different years. And that song was one of the only three songs that weren't instrumentals on the second disc of Greatest Zits. Well, actually, it wasn't this version, but the later version released on Ignoramus a few years later. That was their fourth record, I think. Um, yeah, because the Ziggens re-recorded a bunch of their songs and re-released them on albums up to Pomona Lisa. And then we have Surf's Up. That song was also on Greatest Zits Disc 2. Um, it's a great the same version of it, actually, not a re-recording. It was never re-recorded. But this is a pretty upbeat tune about surfing, and then we have Furball. That's track 4. It's about a guy who's impressed with a girl who he has, and he's bragging about all the things about her. And he says she looks like Dennis Hopper. I don't know about you, but if I was a girl, I don't know how thrilled I'd be with being compared to Dennis Hopper. Although he had good roles in Easy Rider and Apocalypse Now, where he kept saying he's a god man about Marlon Brando's character Colonel Kurtz. And then we have Tim the Dinosaur. This one's a classic. The band Sublime, which you probably have heard of, covered that on their Campfire Lounge. It was mostly a bootleg. I don't think this version was never Sublime's version was never officially released, but a lot of people have heard it through bootlegs. Tim the Dinosaur, I believe Bert Susanka said it's about Jesus. Um, Jesus became a dinosaur, is being represented as a dinosaur, and there was this a CD-ROM game that was released with live tickets still available. The Ziggens live album, where you see Tim the dinosaur. He's a little toy dinosaur, and Bert Susank is like, or one of the Ziggens is like, that Tim the dinosaur. He ate all the cheese, and you have to click Tim the dinosaur multiple times, and then he explodes, and all there's this cheese inside him that you have to get. Um, then Tidal Wave, that's a song that the Ziggens would play in concert up to this day. It's really upbeat. It's really catchy. It's a tough. I don't want to sing it, but then we have All the Fun That We Missed. This song is pretty well known for being the inspiration to Badfish by Sublime. I still get comments a lot on my YouTube channel about All the Fun That We Missed. Um, there's it's one of the longer Ziggins songs, and it has references to Vince Van Patten, who couldn't come back because he had to study his Latin. Um, a lot of people were upset it wasn't released on Greatest Hits, which is understandable, but there might not have been room for it because of how long it is, I'm guessing. Then we have Fat Charlie. This was re-recorded for Pomona Lisa. It's about a guy who couldn't get a job as a cop because he was too stupid or his grades were too bad. So he just stayed as a security guard, and people didn't really take him seriously because of his weight. Because it seems like a sad, pissed off little guy. But the song ends up referencing the Doors, "L.A. Woman." The it uses a similar tune to it towards the end, kind of parodying part of it. Then we have Paper or Plastic. I think of this song every time I'm at the grocery store and I hear the cashiers ask paper or plastic. This is another classic. It was also on the pretty rare tape uh, Pit Stop. I think it was a live version. It might have just been the same version. I have to look into that. Then we have I'm Not Afraid. Um, I need to look more into this song. I haven't heard it in a while. Then we have Walk the Plank. This one was also on Pit Stop. There was a bunch of references to it throughout Pit Stop. You keep hearing Big H, and then you hear parts of Walk the Plank. This song's about pirates and pirate ships. Um, Kind of references Pirates of the Caribbean on Disneyland. It's a pretty entertaining song. Then we have "Kickin' with Perry." This song still gets played in concert. I kind of wish they'd re-record it because it's a little lo-fi. I think it like a really well mastered version would be pretty kick-ass. Um, I think this is one of the most underrated Ziggens songs of all time, honestly. Then we have "Outside." This one people still talk about a lot because it got sampled on "Smoke Two Joints" by Sublime. This isn't the version that was on Greatest Hits that was sampled on "Smoke Two Joints." That version was on COO2, their first demo tape, which was repackaged with Rusty Never Sleeps. Outside is probably their, along with Mississippi, their punkiest song. Um, 'Cause a lot of people think the Ziggens were a punk band. I think they were like the Buzzcocks or something, but they really weren't. They have some hard rock elements, but I wouldn't consider them punk for the most part. Then we have Bin Loop Baby. I don't really know what to say about this one. It's only 42 seconds. Then we have Sober Up. This one was re-recorded for Chicken Out. It's a good ode to not drinking too much and realizing that you've been drinking too much. Um, I think everyone could learn from that. Then we have Go Wild at the Beach. That's another good lesson. It's perfectly acceptable to go wild at the beach. I mean, who wouldn't? And then we have the classic, Big Salty Tears. It's not just a classic because Sublime covered it and was actually released on their acoustic album, unlike Tim the Dinosaur, which just was on bootlegs. But Big Salty Tears is probably the Ziggens' greatest hit. Um, it was a single on vinyl, but it's incredibly hard to find. It probably should get a re-release for Record Store Day. I think we can all vouch for that. Big Salty Tears is a great song to sing in the shower or at karaoke. I've been requesting Carathon to provide Big Salty Tears for the general public, and so far it's been unsuccessful, but I am so determined to bring Big Salty Tears to the mainstream. And yeah, it's a great song about being sad that your girlfriend left you and eating away your pain and sorrow at the drive-through, making your face more fat. It's very sad, but very funny and poignant. Then we have Mrs. Brown. This is a remake of, or kind of a parody and a remake of the Herman's Hermits song, Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. Only it's less annoying because it's kind of punkier. I guess the Ziggens do have more punk influenced songs than I thought, and it's lacking the annoying Cockney accent of Peter Noon in the original that they forced him to have to entertain American audiences during the British invasion. Then we have Taiwan On, another song about drinking, and that's Wake Up and Smell. So, yeah, next week we'll be looking into Rusty Never Sleeps. Bye.